Today we have the leader and founder of the New Light Theater Project coming straight from downtown New York City. We got Sarah Norris.
Hi, here I am.
Here she is. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Thank you for coming on.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here.
Excellent, excellent. You're the founding artistic director of New Light Theater Project. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, New Light Theater Project was founded about 5 years ago. There were a group of us. We just really liked being around each other. So we would come over to my apartment, make pancakes, and read plays. So it really started that way. Different theme pancakes every week, and people would bring work over. It's very casual, and decided we should mount a play. Why
pancakes?
not?
Just because?
It was
because it's the best.
They're delicious.
Pancakes and playwrights.
They're delicious.
I just thought there was more of a story.
No story. Easy to make,
cool.
easy to share, and you know.
And that was in 2013? No, 2012.
2012.
Great. And so what was the journey like to get to the Access Theater?
Let's see. Well, we were producing all over the city, and you know, rough and dirty like indie theater is. And one of our friends worked at the Flea Theater, the old space at the Flea, and the Flea used Access for rehearsals and stuff, and connected us to the space. We met with the people. It felt right. It was. There's a lot of charm to the space. So we did our first full-length show there, and just it took off, and we've been there ever since.
Wow.
So
what was your first full-length show?
it was called Picture Ourselves in Latvia by Ross Howard, who is our resident playwright. And our big idea was we weren't going to charge for tickets.
Oh, wow.
And
That's ambitious.
Yeah,
it was
for an awful
ambitious.
for a small theater.
Yeah, well, we did a lot of calculating and thought we're not going to make any money,
Gotcha.
So let's make it free. And yeah, and we since learned that you know, there should be value. It's not that we didn't value it, but people would make a free reservation and then say, oh, I can come another night. And so we've learned from that. But we do try to keep our ticket prices low and affordable. That's important. And yeah, we've been at Access getting dirty ever since.
Something that you mentioned was the monetary value. And I have to ask, as an independent off-Broadway company, what have some of the biggest challenges you've encountered?
Definitely money. I mean, I think that's without a doubt everybody's struggle, and so I could speak on that, but I think we all know that struggle. It's expensive. Rent is high. There are a million companies. So I was thinking about that, and I was like, well, what could I talk about that's a little outside the box? And it's audience a lot of times.
Ooh.
Because you have to put a lot of energy into finding and building and maintaining the audience. And how do you keep people coming back if they come to see a show because their friend is in it? How do you say, that's cool, your friend won't be in our next play, but please keep coming and help us grow. And again, it's such a huge market, and there's a million things to see in the city every day of the week. So how do you get people coming back?
Like with the larger theater companies, they have more of like a subscriber base and whatnot.
Yes.
Right, and so like I'm sure your company does not have that.
We do not have that.
Right. So,
and you can't really create it in an because you don't know what you're doing next. It's almost project by project. We have lined up a couple, we do know our next couple of projects, but then beyond that, you're not really sure. You don't know what space you're going to be in, and so it's hard to
You don't do a
build
Lincoln
that.
Theater Center like announcement.
Yes.
New season.
Right.
Let's invite the press.
One day.
One day, see, one day.
Knock on
wood.
Knock on
Yes,
IKEA.
let's do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Knock on wood on that for sure. So what really excites me about your theater company is the fact that they do a lot of young and emerging talent, and you know, I know you've produced people I know, friends of mine,
And so it's just really exciting. When you search for new plays such as like those, what are some things you take into consideration?
Well, that's a really good question. When we're looking for new plays, we first look and see, can we do this play justice? We read a lot of great scripts, and knowing that our resources are limited, can we tackle this in an interesting way that would help the writer see the story? It's not going to be a grand, full set. But I do like working with designers. So what can our designers do?
I love your designers, by the way. We saw actually one of your shows is the first ones that we talked about in our first episode.
Breeders. I really like the set. Also, Noah's play, Omega Kids.
Yeah,
that set was brilliant.
It was so cool.
Yeah, I've been to that space many times at the Access, and it was crazy because you built like another space within a space.
Yeah. The playwright Noah, he wrote this beautiful play, and his
shout out Noah.
Shout out to Noah.
Shout out
Yo,
Noah.
Ars Nova now. What's good, Ars Nova?
And Jay Stoll, who's a brilliant director, they came to us and said, we want to do a box inside a box. And I don't know, right away I was intrigued and wanted to support that. It was something I hadn't heard before, and I don't know, I think there's something in that too. We look for plays that will challenge us as producers, but our designers, our actors, and something everybody can rally behind to do something new and different.
So now that you've been in existence for 5 years, what have been some of the most fulfilling experiences that you've had with your company?
Yeah, well, I'm always partial to our big ensemble-driven shows, but because I think it goes back to pancakes and plays and that idea of community. So what holds a special place for me are when so many of our artists were involved. And again, we have great actors, and I love our actors, but also we have some great stage managers. We just have great people. And so, though I say that now, and I look back at Omega Kids or some of these other, and they were a much smaller cast, a two-hander, and those were special too. I guess it's the productions that we were pushed to think outside our comfort zone, a box within a box, and I keep going back to Omega Kids, but we did this beautiful production of In the Soundless Awe, and the design was supposed to feature water, which was a huge deal for us. Now, the water never happened. Again, off Broadway. We couldn't figure it out. We tried. And everybody was so disappointed, but it was one of my favorite shows because we realized we didn't need the water. The acting was so good. It was so ensemble-based, and I thought that was one of our more successful shows.
Speaking of ensemble, is there any challenges that you face having like sort of an ensemble company, or do you find that to be completely advantageous?
I like having people. I'm a director myself, and I feel like my strength as a director, which is a weird thing to talk about your strengths, but I like...
No, you are successful. You have a company. You are existing in the Access. No.
Seriously, cheers to that.
Cheers to you.
Oh, wait, hold on, I need more wine.
We do not diminish in this room.
Yeah, absolutely. You're not drinking, but cheers to you. Cheers.
Yes, thank you.
We will drink for...
Please, drink all for me. No, but I like talking with designers. I like talking with the writer. I like forming those collaborations. And so with an ensemble, there's so many voices and opinions, and I'm a firm believer I'll have a bad idea and somebody else's idea will be better, and let's go with the better idea always.
That is a rarity in New York theater, and I just need to give you props because ego is such a big thing, and I think I've seen that downfall in companies where ego drives, and it's very refreshing to hear that it's for you, it's the opposite. It's being able to have that checked and hear other people's opinions that makes it work, which is probably why you've been around for a bit.
Well, it's to me, it's just more comfortable and relaxing, and the work is better. I mean, if somebody has a better idea, it only makes sense to listen and try to rally around what will make the final story more interesting and productive and imaginative. You know, it just, I don't know, that's what makes sense to me. But yeah, so I don't know if I answered your question.
No, I
but,
think it makes sense. Yeah. Well, I love that idea because I'm a firm believer that theater is always about community.
Yeah.
Audiences.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the team. But like, you know, to have a company that is dedicated to one company. I mean, to have a team that's dedicated to one company, and they're all always rallying around each other, I think is like sort of embodies the ethos of theater.
Yeah, I agree. And what I appreciate about the ensemble at New Light is we've always said we're not going to pick a play for our actors only. We'll have auditions, and we want what's best for the story and the play, and our actors get that, our designers get that, but we try to incorporate some of the ensemble in it somehow, and I feel like it just helps us grow and meet new writers and meet new actors and meet new artists to, you know, continue the climb of New York City.
It's a Goliath.
It is.
Yeah. If you could change one thing about the industry, what is something you would change if you could wave a magic wand?
Yeah, you know, I feel like the industry, there's such a focus on degrees and where you come from and who you know, and it's really unfortunate because there's a lot of great work and there's a lot of great artists that can't afford those places, and you know, for whatever reasons, they go to school or they study abroad, whatever they do to better themselves.
You know,
let's be real. Yeah. And it's unfortunate that can take the priority. Working at Access, it's an affordable place. It's a place that people can really experiment and try things. And there are artists from all over that are doing really great things, and that work should be celebrated. And it's sometimes, you know, it falls through the cracks. Anyway, that's what I would definitely focus on and change if I could, is just open the
accessibility.
Yeah, totally.
For smaller like theater companies, what do you think are? Well, like, it's funny because I talk with some of my buddies always about, like, because, you know, not some people, most of us don't get produced, right? And so whenever me and my playwright buddies are at the bar, we're always like, man, we gotta start a theater company, man. Fuck these stabs, man. Let's start a theater company. But it's just so much, it's always way harder than it is. You know, it's easier to say it, easier said than done, right? What do you think are some of the pitfalls of newer companies?
I think one of the pitfalls, a lot of people close themselves off, so it's just their company.
Oh, gotcha.
And I at least for companies that
That's totally what we were gonna do. That's why I could never run a theater company. It's like, we're only producing my plays and my plays only, and some of my friends.
I could be wrong about that theory.
Exactly. Yeah.
I feel
There's
like
you need.
Well, you want to bring in more artists to see that, because I feel like you start to tap out of your audience or, you know, support base. So if you keep bringing in new people and, again, fresh ideas, that's what I've seen a lot of people just, or they get fixated on, and maybe this is just, I love new plays and I love new writers, and so I think there's a lot of companies that will, and there's nothing wrong with doing, we've done our own revivals, but that's a pitfall of just kind of settling for something and not taking risks, I think.
No, I think that there's
We do
absolute
revivals
merit.
too,
Right,
but,
right.
Yeah,
but there's getting stuck in doing something that's always this, you know,
Or
the
something,
same product
something
over and
comfortable
over.
that
Yeah.
you know people will see, like as opposed to taking a risk.
Yeah.
I think there is merit to that, and I think it's much more adventurous, and I applaud that spirit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, as a playwright, you know, that's awesome. You know, you always want theater companies who are willing to take risks on new writers. So.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers to you. All right, so you know, what's coming up? What's next for a new Theater Project? What's coming up?
We've got a couple of shows that I'm really excited. I'm directing a play. It's a co-production with Stable Cable Lab Company.
Oh, yeah.
Another great indie theater off Broadway company, and it's a new play called Hal and Bee by Max Baker, and we're moving uptown for this one. So outside of our comfort zone, but we're doing it at 59 East 59.
Cool.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
It's called
that's
Hunter
great
College.
space.
Shout out to Hunter College. I'm always shouting out Hunter College for no reason, but I have a mixed relationship with them. But shout out to Hunter College. Shout out to Hunter College.
I like.
Here's
that
the
you said all that.
information for the play.
Yeah. Here it is. It'll
It's
come up.
magic.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm imagining it in my mind.
Yeah, it's right here. All right, so tell us about Hal and Bee.
Yeah, it's a dark comedy, lots of blood. It's about an old hippie aging couple that feel stuck in their world, and
My parents.
a lot of people.
We are cutting that.
No, we're not.
I think a lot of people could find their or what is a relationship after 30, 40, 50 years, and it's really funny, and it taps into things that I feel people perhaps think but would never say, and it'll be a cool production.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, and then we also have a new play by Liza Birkenmeyer, who you know, called The Hollower, and it's a really crazy play. It's awesome. I'm super an ensemble-driven piece, so that's coming up later in the spring.
Oh, excellent. Well, shout out to Liza. Shout out to Ars Nova all the time. Ars Nova always putting out good people, right?
They have great writers. Yeah.
They have the best writers in Ars Nova.
Don't take it from me. All right. Last thing on the docket. Recommendation. Sarah Norris, what do you recommend for our audience here?
Well, there's a great company called Primitive Grace, and it's a new company founded by some of the original members of the Labyrinth Theater Company. So, Labyrinth, yeah. So David Zayas and Paul Calderone, they're doing a play at Access right now, and
You
they're
should all
both
go see
starring
it.
in it. You should see it.
It's amazing.
Really good. I mean, the acting it's a masterclass. So
Wow.
I would highly recommend it. Yeah.
All right. Well, all the information is going to be there, so make sure you check
I
it out.
second this shout out too. High recommendations. It's a damn good show.
All right. Well, oh my God. Thank you for coming on.
Oh,
This
thank
has
you
been
so
a
much for
pleasure.
having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
totally. Thank
Thanks.
you.